It's the Wait a Minute Show.
Bruh, ain't that right, Lopan? Wait a minute. Book it. Really? Really?
The Wait a Minute Show with your host, Jolani J.B. Bodie.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your man, Jelani J.B. Bodie, once again coming here on the Wait a Minute Show by way of the waitaminuteshow.com, and this is playing through YouTube. And make sure, get all this out of the way, make sure you like and subscribe and turn on notifications for the show. I got a doozy for you lined up today, ladies and gentlemen. I went out there, got some more interviews for you, but before we do that, I'm contractually obligated, so I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the way. Over there chilling with me today for the show is none other than my man Lopan. So Lopan, tell everybody what's up.
Indeed.
So yeah, Lopan is excited for this show as well because we got NFC South talk, which you'll see a little bit later on. But what I got lined up right now is life in the NBA, man. Life in the NBA. So who better to talk about life in the NBA than an NBA player? So I went out there, got you, Charlie Bell. Check out this interview. I think you're going to like it. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? You know, the Wait a Minute Show, we try and go out there and get folks to come onto the show. And I got a guest with me, and I'm happy to announce here. So before I bring them on, I'm just going to go ahead and give a little introduction. This gentleman here is a 7-year NBA vet. Spent some time in the Big Ten, won a national championship with the Michigan State Spartans, and has been to three out of the 4 years he was there, 3 Final Four appearances. So, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for my guest today, Mr. Charlie Bell. Mr. Bell.
What's up, boss?
What is going on, sir? How are you doing?
Oh, man, I'm trying to be like you, man. Is your bowling game still tight, man? Like, yeah, I'm coming in hot, baby. What's up?
I'm nice with it. I'm still nice with it.
I can see the curve in that middle finger. Yeah, I see you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's still there. A little rusty. It may take me, about a second game, but after that, I'm good. I'm
nice.
good.
Okay. I got
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. So just for folks that want to know, anybody come down to the ATL, I'll be on them lanes. I'll be out on the curb if you want me. You can come and find me. But yeah. Yeah. So already started up with me. So appreciate it, man. So I got Charlie Bell here. Like I said, 7-year NBA vet, man. Spent most of the time with the Milwaukee Bucks. And I got him here to talk about, and here we do stuff a little bit different. Yeah, we talk about all the other stuff, but like to get into some of the things that like most people don't talk about. And I've talked about it on my show here, Charlie, and I have talked about how NBA, professional athletes, but NBA, people think kind of different, and I'm like, it is still a job, ladies and gentlemen. It is still stuff that you need to do, just like every old working day folks and all that stuff. Yeah, it's a little bit different because you're on TV and all that, but it is, it is a working job. So I want to talk about life in the NBA, life of an NBA player. So I said, let me hit my man C Bell up, and he'll come out and he'll tell you what it is. So let's go ahead and start off with, I'm going to start back. So in the college days, so I mentioned, you won the national championship, and then you came off on your senior year. Going into it, I'm sure it didn't work out like you wanted. You went undrafted, but at the end of the day, you still made it where you need to make it. But what I want to know is that when you are going into a draft, because you're declaring yourself for a draft, what is that process like? How are you prepping yourself for what does a future NBA player go through getting ready for the draft and trying to, get into the NBA?
I mean, I would say everybody is different because you got you guys that are already probably lottery picks and guys who probably know that they're going to get drafted. So it's a little bit more chill for them. But you got guys like myself who are a little bit on the edge. There's no 100% yes or no. So, first and foremost, you talk to agents and you try to get with your college coach, and college coach talk to some scouts, and you find out. You try to gauge what the interest is. Like okay, all right, what percentage? You 70%, 80%? Like what's the chance of me getting drafted? And then you got to go through. Right now, nowadays, guys don't have to 100% commit. They can go through the draft process and then make the decision to go back to college, and not if they don't have good workouts or anything like that. But it's a very nerve wracking time because you don't know what your future holds. And I know a lot of times people don't understand how it is when you're working out in front of scouts. It's just picture you going to your job every day and your boss coming to just sit there and watch you. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just sit and watch you work for the next hour, and they don't say nothing. They got their little pen and paper, and you answer the phone, and they take a note, and then you log into your computer. They taking notes. And you're like, so everything that you do is like, man, you're nervous. It's just like, yeah, it's basketball. It's like something that you've been doing your whole life, but at the same point, the human in you, you get nervous when somebody's critiquing your every move. Like you miss a shot, you turn the ball over. Now in your head, you thinking, man, I'm not gonna get drafted. It's just, what I'm saying, like, and not just you. You got a lot of people that's dependent on you. You might have, your parents. Nowadays, some of these guys. I mean, to be real, some of these guys got kids. They got a kid that they're dealing with, and their livelihood is at stake. So it's hard, but at the same time, it's just like anything, man. It's what you sign up for. If you signed up for it, and that's the life that we're living. It's just you got to go out there and try to do the best you can to perform in front of everybody.
Pins and needles, yeah. And you would think just in general you would be nervous, but I didn't even think of it like that. Like you got people really taking notes and nobody is really talking to you about anything, so you really don't know anything.
You don't know. You think you might have killed it. You like, man, I hit this that, but you might have didn't dribble with your left hand enough. Now they looking like I don't know, man, and it's just you don't know what they're looking for.
Right.
Every team is different. You go work out for one team, they want to see how you move without the ball. You got another team, they might want to see how you set your teammates up. You got another team, they probably just may be interested in how well you shoot the three ball. It's, the analytics. It's every situation is different. Every team is different. And it's hard. You know what I'm saying? It really is. But at the same time, that's just part of the job. You get paid a lot of money to go out there.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to, now being older and being a coach myself, I was on that side of the fence. I've been on both sides. As a coach, I wasn't a scout, but as a coach, there's a lot of money that they're investing in you, and they want to make sure that they're gonna get a good return out of their investment.
And you mentioned that it's like they want a return on their investment, and it's a lot that they put in, which leads me to the staying in shape, getting in shape, being in shape that comes along with being an NBA player. And I tell people like, NBA players, they don't go down to the LA Fitness and play for about 30 minutes and then say they ready to go. So what goes into or what are NBA players or regular, I guess, workout for an NBA player? Because I would assume that it's not just your norm. It's a lot of stuff that's involved with it. Am I wrong, or you tell me?
Well, it depends on if you're talking off season or in season or training camp. Everything is kind of different. The thing is when you're thinking about the off season, you probably in the gym a good 4 to 5 hours a day, maybe. I would just say 4. You go in the morning. You might work on some stuff for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then you go back again at night and get some more, work in for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. So, it's a lot. I had one of my friends, man, he was in the gym a couple of days ago, last week maybe, and we probably shot maybe 100 jump shots. Not made 100, we shot 100. And the next day, he like, man, my arm's sore, man. I said, dude, like, are you kidding me? Like, like off 100 shots, bro. Like as an NBA player, like, you probably go in the gym and every workout you trying to get, 300 to 500 makes in the workout, like makes. Like we're not talking about like I'm just coming out here just throwing shots up at the basket. I'm coming out here and working. I'm counting makes. Misses don't count. We don't go to the even when I train kids now. It's like before we go to the next spot, before we go to the next drill, there's a certain amount of makes we got to make. And depending on how fast you get that done, it might just be we can go an hour, and then you're doing the same drills, but you're gonna make them shots. You know what I'm saying? It's all about makes. Field goal attempts is great, but we go off of makes. What I'm saying? There ain't nobody trying to make You got to make baskets, and it gets easier. It's probably a little harder for like the average person because they're not used to that. But most NBA guys who do it on a regular, it's just the norm. The thing is just like if you're an endurance runner, you ain't gonna just go. You can't go out there and just run 10 miles or 20 miles or a marathon. It takes some time. You got to build up to it, and but it's a lot of work. A lot of guys people don't see it. It's a heck of a lot of work, man. Then you got during the season. You probably show up to the gym probably maybe 2 hours before practice. You might lift weights. You might do some recovery stuff. Some injury prevention type stuff, and you might get some shots up before practice. But then after practice, you get more shots up. I mean, it's one of the things where, you spending 4 or 5 hours a day in the gym, and like you mentioned before, it's a job. You know what I'm saying? It's like every day. Do you want to go to your job every day? Some days it's like, man, I ain't got it today. But you
Yeah.
got to go. You know what I'm saying? The same with basketball. I mean, it's a sport, but at the same time, there's days where it's like, man, my knee's sore today, or this is sore, man. I'm tired, man. Just played a game last night. We just did this. We just traveled, blah blah blah. Whatever it is, you got to go to that gym and put the work in. It's like there ain't no days off. Hey, coach, I ain't got it today, man. No, coach, you got to go. We're giving you $10 million. You got to go out here and you got to perform. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's just the way it is, man. It's what they say: high risk, high reward.
Right. Yeah. And I tell people like, look, you go out and you be like, oh, I hung out too long. I'm gonna call in to work. Like, no, you don't get that option
No.
in the NBA.
No,
No,
sir.
you're coming to work. So
I
you
mean, but
meant
you got to think about it though too. It's like that's one of the good things about the NBA. You got seasons.
yeah.
Once that season's over with, you got to sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Hey, you got a game the next night. You can't be hanging out. There's plenty of time to do that in the summertime. But during that season, you got to be locked in. Some guys still. You got some people that can do it though. You got some guys that can go out, hang, wake up the next morning, and go out there and perform. But at the same time, it's gonna take its toll on you. You might be able to do that for a certain amount of years. In your early 20s, but as you get older, your body be like, nah, cuz we ain't bouncing back like that, bro.
Exactly. Exactly. So you're watching the Wait a Minute show here with your man Jelani JB Bodie. I got NBA vet Charlie Bell here with me. And Charlie, you mentioned something. You said sacrifice. So that leads me into my next question as far as like family and life events and everything. So things happen. You got birthdays, you got anniversaries, and like you said, some guys they already have kids coming into the league, but then you get into the league and you get married and all just stuff just happens, but that impacts the family as well. So how is that on that end? Because a lot of people don't talk about that. We do hear it down the road, but like how is that for an NBA player where it's like, hey, certain things, because I gotta work, I may miss it, and you're asking a lot, from your family members to help you out with that.
It's tough. It's one I think nowadays with technology, it's a lot easier. You got FaceTime, you got different Zooms, you got different stuff that you can do where you can see, and then people can record stuff nowadays. So it's like it ain't as bad as it that it used to be when we didn't have the technology that we got. But it's tough because you know, kids, especially when you got dealing with younger kids, they don't understand. They may understand when they get older, like, okay, dad was doing this or doing that, but at the same time, they don't understand. It's just,
Mhm.
I had a recital and dad wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Or you got this and dad wasn't there. They don't understand till they're a little bit older, and you just gotta let as long as you set that expectation, uh, it is what it is. It's just like I said, it's one of those things that we signed up for. I mean, and it's not just NBA. I mean, you got a lot of professional athletes. You got a lot of business people who spend a lot of time on the road. It's just one of those things that you know you got to know what you're signing up for. And at the same time, as when you got the off season, you try to do your best you can, to try to make up for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I wasn't here then, but I'm here now. Let's do this. Let's do that. So you try to get all your time in because during the season it's hard because you got 8 9 months where I'm locked in. I'm trying to get because it's a livelihood. Like, yeah, you're doing all this stuff, but whatever you like, most of the time, most of these, especially if you got kids and they're playing, you doing events and recital. Some of that stuff costs money. It's like, look, I got to go out and I got to do what I can to pay for this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, like it just comes with the territory. It is hard. And but the thing is just you just got to set that expectation with the family and kids, and just let them know like, hey, I'm doing this, but I am watching. I will, you know, nowadays, like I said, you can record stuff. You can watch it with them afterwards. Like, hey, let's watch that recital. Oh, look, what I'm saying? It's just so you got different ways that you can cope with it now, but it is hard because you do want to be there. But at the same time, like I said before, we know what we signed up for. Like, I got a game to go play. This is my livelihood. Like I understand you got kids, but at the same time, you want to make sure, nowadays with the guys, some of these contracts guys are getting, you're making sure your kids are good, not just while you're playing, but as they get older. You hopefully you're just doing what you can to set them up for life.
Yeah, and you mentioned that the money part, and we're going to get to that here in just a moment because it seems like everybody loves talking about the money part when it comes to professional athletes. But I remember a story, and I'm dating myself to some folks, but Bill Cartwright, because some people don't know who Bill Cartwright is, but I remember Bill.
All the way back.
Yeah, I'm going a little back. I remember Bill Cartwright talking about balancing, that family life, and that he had promised his kid that he would help them with a science project. And he had came off from a road game, and he got home like 2:30 in the morning. And I can't remember if it was his son or daughter, but whatever. His kid was waiting on him and said, "You told me you were gonna help me with that science project, so don't even worry about going to sleep. We finna do this science project right now."
You ain't getting out of this.
Yeah. So he ended up
Red Bull and let's get to it.
Yeah. So he was up to about 4 or 5 in the morning helping, with that science project. So it's just like, yeah, that goes with it. So I was talking about the money and everything. So the reason I bring that up is that we see all these, contracts, and some of the contracts, yeah, they're great. Steph, he's going to be getting 50 some odd million, LeBron and all this stuff. That's great. But that's not every NBA player. Every NBA player is not making, that type of money. So I think a lot of people may get it twisted, when they hear, oh, somebody signed, a $30 or $40 million deal. They're thinking that player is getting all of that money. And, there are some other people that those finances touch before it reaches the NBA player. Can you talk about like what's involved with that? And the reason I say that is because I remember what, yeah, Uncle Sam. I remember watching what was that, Broke on 30 for 30, where they were talking, which I didn't even know, is that for football players, when you go to another state, you have to pay their taxes because you're working there, so I'm just like, what? And I'm like, okay, but it does make sense because you're working in another environment, and a lot of people don't know, about stuff like that. So yeah, Uncle Sam, and like what kind of like, how does that play out before that money gets to you?
I mean, the rule of thumb, most guys know, cut it in half, whatever the taxes is. And then you got, your agent is going to get their piece, just depending on who else you got working for you. They're going to get there. You've got a marketing firm to help you with your social media, whatever it is. You got to, everybody got to get their piece now. So you got to make sure that you're taking care of everybody. And then, then you got, family, and, you got to make sure, your parents are good, your mom, dad is good. Like I said, you got kids. Like I said, it's a lot that goes into it. And, like you said before, you as an NBA player, you got to file taxes in basically every state that you play in. Because it's like, yeah, you going, you working in Colorado, then you're going to work in New York, you're going to work in Florida, like, so you got to make sure you got a good tax person because, you got to make sure you understand the tax laws in all these states because you got to file in all these states, and you might owe money in some of these states, you might get a refund back in some states. It just depends on, how you set up your dependents and taxes and all that stuff, but. It's a lot that goes into it. So I just always say like a rule of thumb, just cut it in half, which is still a good payday for most guys. I mean, so at the same time, but it's not what everybody think. Okay, he got especially guys who are at the end of the bench and guys who don't like your role players. You know what I'm saying? Who are probably getting a $1 million contract or 2 million, whatever it is. You can say like I said, cut that in half. And then you can think about, most of the time, most guys got two places that they live at. You got where like back when I was playing, I had a house in Michigan where it's home, and then maybe you got a house where you play at, and then maybe you're renting. So now you're looking at two mortgages, two rents, two car notes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's definitely a lot of stuff that goes into that, and then like I probably get to it, but it's like say you get traded. Now you got to look at trying to sell a house. What if your house don't sell like that fast? Now you got another one. Then you going somewhere else. Now you might be paying three more. You know what I'm saying? So it gets kind of it gets kind of crazy. But like I said before, that's the business we in. And it's like, especially if you got kids, it's really hard because it's kind of like you play for a team for 2 years. Your kids are going to school there for 2 years. Then you get traded. And the kids that made friends and this and that is like, hey, little Charlie, hey, we sorry I got traded to this, and they start crying because they might miss their teachers, they might miss their friends, and it gets hard. It really do. You know what I'm saying? So then you got some guys who, like I said before, like when I had a house here in Michigan, you got some guys who their family stay in whatever state that they are in the off season, like wherever they're from. And then the player he's away all year, so now he's probably missing more than just when you're on the road, like you're missing the whole school year. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of it depends on how things are set up. It gets tough.
And I didn't even think about that. About the paying for because if you got social media and all that stuff and advertisement or marketing and everything.
Oh yeah, I mean
Yeah.
you probably, it's a cost, but they might be doing something and bringing in endorsements. You know what I'm saying? So they're making money, whatever, but at the same time they're making your money. I mean, but at the same time, this stuff costs. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you hear about LeBron. You're doing stuff to maybe take care of your body. You got to paying for that little bit of extra, especially like some of these guys like that. Their body is their investment. So you got to take care of it.
And you mentioned, well, we're talking about the money, and we've heard all these stories, about players going broke, and and just people just coming out of the woodwork and all of that. I'm gonna ask a question, but then I'm gonna direct it towards you too. How hard is it, or is it something that can easily be learned to learn how to say no? Because you can't say yes to everything.
Mm-hmm.
And for you, was that ever a problem when it occurred to like, if I gotta tell you no, I'm just gonna tell you no?
No, I was definitely one of them people. I'm a people pleaser, so I was always. It's hard for me to say no. It took a while for me to say no. I mean, so I just have people always, hey, because the thing is, you want to do what you can to help, people. You know what I'm saying? And I've had many of people come to me, oh man, my rent, this, that, or I got this problem, that problem, and as an NBA player, you're thinking, I got it. You know what I'm saying? So let me, go ahead and do what I can. Then you get some people, I'm gonna pay you back, and trust me, I'm still waiting on some people to pay me back. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to take that L.
Yeah.
Hopefully some of these guys realize, like, I think are some guys who've done, do a great job at that, so, but then it's hard. If you got $1 million in your, you know what I'm saying, in your bank account, because I'm just saying on the low end, like just like if you got $1 million and then somebody, hey man, I'm trying low on my rent, can you let me borrow 2,500? That ain't nothing. I got you.
Right.
And then, but the thing is then you got that, and then another one, and another one. Now you looking at maybe 20,000. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't really thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? Because you're just doing it because it's this is my boy. I'm gonna what I'm saying, take care. He said he gonna pay me back. So now next thing you know what I'm saying, you get to the point where you're not in the NBA no more, and it's like I think that's the part where you talk about going broke. It's like the thing is a lot of guys, you think that paycheck you get, you think that's going to continue.
Right.
I think that's the thing that a lot of guys struggle with, and I struggle with. A lot of guys struggle with. It's like you get this money, you get this every 2 weeks. You're not thinking about the future. You're like, man, I just got this. My paycheck was 200,000 this month. You know what I'm saying? So I'm about to go, blow this on that, do this, do that, not knowing that next thing. But you keep doing that, the life of your contract. Then boom, next thing you know, there's no other contract. Now it's like, wait a minute, where
Yeah.
I ain't getting no direct deposit this month. Like, wait a minute, but these
Right.
bills is like, yo, we here though.
Yeah.
Like,
Dang.
you got a deposit, but hey, come on, man, hey. But that money is going out though. But if ain't no money coming in, that's when things start to get tight.
Yeah. That's and like you said, I've learned over life experiences is just if I gave somebody something, I just put it in my mind it's not coming back.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah. If it do come back, man, God bless you.
Yep, exactly. Great. Great. Um Tell me something like one thing that maybe is misunderstood, about NBA players or just professional athletes that us being on the outside looking in that we would get misconstrued. If there's one thing that you got.
I guess I would say I think a lot of people think most NBA guys are mean
Mm-hmm.
or I don't even know a holes. Like I mean, he wouldn't do this or he wouldn't do that. You don't know that guy's life. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of them things that like as a person you might see somebody else like, hey, I want to take a picture. And you might be like, nah, I can't do it. And he's like, man, like, hey, can you sign his autograph? He's like, nah, I can't. It's like, dude, it's just an autograph. Why can't you? They look at it as like, but at the same time, is when you get that all the time, and then but you don't understand that, that like, I'm trying to think of how to say it. It's just, so you talk, especially you talk about an autograph or something like that. You get like these trading card companies. They pay a lot of money for our signatures to go sign a card. So a lot of guys don't want to sign cards just because they know that decreases the value. If it's 100 cards I done signed out there, or I'm signing everybody cards, why is somebody gonna pay me to sign it? You know what I'm saying? It's a business.
Right.
A lot of people don't understand that. Like, this is a business. You know what I'm saying? Like this trading card company is giving me. I don't even know, but like say LeBron might be getting $1 million from. I don't even know if they still around. I don't even really follow trading cards. Even like Tops
Mm-hmm.
trading cards is paying me to sign. But at the same time, it's like you just sign an exclusive deal. You only sign in the cards that they send you. So now you go out and you got a kid that's like, yo, can you sign this card? Yeah, you want to do it, but at the same time as you can't because you signed a contract with this person. You signed, you know what I'm saying? Like so, I think the thing people don't understand is like a lot of NBA players, look at a lot of stuff like business. This is it's I want to sign pictures. I want to take pictures. I want to do this. I want to do that. I'm not even on that level. So like, and I'm okay with doing that type of stuff. But I just can see the superstars and why they are the way they are because it's a business, and it's just they conduct themselves like they're running a business, like their lives, it's just how it is, like a lot of guys think some of these guys are, evil and mean and this and that, but I know most of these guys are nice, man. Like, The thing is just they can't do everything for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of them understand that. And it may come off as, oh man, I met such and such, and he wouldn't do this, and then but you don't know what that person, you don't know who, you know what I'm saying? Like I talked about, like we was talking about earlier, my son wanted to grab something, but like say I'm going out to eat with my son, and I just want to spend some time with my son. Like now, I'm not even like LeBron James like level, but it's like you get people, you start talking to you. So sometimes you just want to go out and just, just blend in. And you got a lot of guys, especially if you're a superstar, it's like that constantly get that. You know what I'm saying? It's like it gets annoying, and it's probably hard for them. And you can say, that's what they signed up for, they're superstar. But at the same time, it's you
they're
got
still human.
Yeah, they're still human.
They're still
Everybody
human.
pull you in different directions, and it's just like, look, I just want to just chill. Like, can I just chill? Like, I'm here with my family. Can I just relax? Oh, but you can't just sign this? No, because now next thing you know, everybody in the restaurant will probably be lined up.
Exactly.
Now you can't eat. Now your food cold. You know what I'm saying? Your drinks then got watered down. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been sitting here doing all. So it's just like, it's just a time and place for everything, and a lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah, I think every athlete, celebrity, or everybody that I ever met, most of the time, if I met somebody, I didn't even ask them, for an autograph or a picture or anything like that. Because I always thought like I might be person 125 today, that have asked them, for that. And it's just like, I'm just trying to get to my car, bro. I'm just trying to get it. Just trying to get to my car.
And I'm like that, and I played in the league. Like, I know Steph Curry. I know some of these guys. I got their phone numbers in my phone. But the thing is unless I really like want something, or like I'm gonna say want, but unless I really need something, I'm not hitting these dudes up like, hey, can you do this or no? Because I know they getting and I know they probably wouldn't even tell me no. I think if I hit Steph, I hey Steph, hey, can you do this? He'll be, I got you. But I'm just not doing it because I know he's getting it from everybody. He probably wouldn't even mind. But at the same time, and my way I am is just not going to allow me to do it because I know how they get pulled in so many different directions. Even though I know we cool and I could probably ask for anything, but I'm not like, hey, unless I need it. Like I think it was one time, it was on my son's birthday. It was like, hey, Steph, leave me some tickets, and it was like, I got no one. Come on, that's nothing. But it's like I hated to do that. I was like, yo, I wanted like after the game, I want you to say, oh no, don't worry about it. Like he took care of it, man. And the thing is, it's like it just take a lot. I know you got some people that easy to ask for stuff. I'm just one of them guys. I hate to ask for stuff, and unless I really need it, and like I said, and I just know some of these guys deal with a lot of demands, and it gets hard on them.
Yeah, and I saw you at the finals with Steph. I need that short set he got. That short set he wore. I'll say that's hot. I need to get that up off him. So if he drop it or something, just pick it up for me. And I'll
I got you, man.
Steph bigger than me anyway.
It might have been, some of these guys, man. They wear the stuff, man. You probably couldn't even afford that, man. I'm just saying, man. It looked like it might have been some like a regular short set, man. That might have been some Dolce & Gabbana or something.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, that was a whole car that he was probably wearing.
You never know.
Yeah, he bigger than me, so I may not fit perfectly into it, but it don't matter. I'll make it work.
Yeah, you might put it in the dryer or something, man. Just go ahead and
there you go.
See if it shrinks. Always a tailor and get it, what I'm saying? Get that material taken out, what I'm saying?
Yeah. There you go.
Maybe make you like a little hat or something out the extra material or something. You know what I mean?
Oh, man, I appreciate you, man, for coming on here. I'm going to get you out of here with this. So, players just in general, but everybody wears a number. Everybody has a number. They got their name on the back, the team on the front. And I've just always wondered, like, with players, like, what goes into, picking a number? What makes a person pick it? And I know you, in high school, you wore 42. And I was like, I ain't 42. What? And then you went to Michigan State, you wore 14. Then when you went to the league, you wore 42 again. I think you wore 3 and another number at some point, but 42 and 14 is
my number.
Yeah,
42 is my number.
Yeah, 42. So I always thought, I was like, dang, that's just a kind of random number. So that gotta mean something to Charlie. So what is 42? What's the significance of 42?
My dad wore 42.
Oh, Papa Bell. Okay.
Back, you know, when he was playing in the Flint leagues and stuff like that, he was 42, and that's why when I wanted 42. Well, you know, that's my dad number. I wanted to rock it. When I got older, you found out like, okay, Jackie Robinson wore the number. You know, all these other people wore the number. But at the same time, I wasn't paying attention to all that back in the day. My dad, that's all I knew. My pops was out there hooping in the Flint leagues. He wore 42. I wanted 42. And then as you talk about that, man, I'm gonna get it like just talk a quick little story about Michigan State. You know, they recruited me, and I was like, man, big thing is, you know, I want 42. Like, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I don't know if you know, but Morris Peterson was wearing 42.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Pete had 42.
Yeah, and I wanted 42. I said, I want 42. Like when I come to Michigan State, if I come here, I want 42. I don't say if I come here, I want 42, but it was like, you know, what number I'm gonna wear. I want, all right. They, you know, one of the coaches, I ain't gonna say no names. One of the coaches was like, "Well, you want 42?" Like, yeah, we talked to Mill Pete, and Pete's gonna switch to the 23. I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "Cool." He gonna switch to 23. Cool. You know. So next thing you know, I get to Michigan State. I'm there. You know, working out, everything going good, and you know, they got the media guy. So the media guy about to come out, but they got like basically paper copies of it, you know, before they send it to the press. Hey, we want you to look at this, you know, rough copy, see, you know, if there's anything misspelled, anything you want added, taken out. So I looked at it, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm looking. Well, wait a minute. Charlie Bell, 23. So I go to the coach who told me that Pete was gonna switch.
Yeah.
So I go to his office. I knock on the door. Do. Like, yo, what's up, man? Hey, coach. You said I was gonna get 42. You said Pete was switching. Pete changed his mind. He you know, so you like Michael Jordan, right? I said, man, that don't mean nothing. Okay. I said, it at least came to me. It was like, yo, like, what number you want? And I was like, and if they would have did that, I might have said 23 because I like Jordan. But at the same time, I was like, no, I don't want 23.
Yeah.
And they were, what number you want? I'm like, I don't even know. So I was sitting there, and I'm just like, man. So I'm thinking, and then next thing you know, I'm like, I see, you know, Mateen had 12, and Jonko had 13, and like I'm gonna go 14. So it kind of like, you know, the Flintstones. Even though Pete was on the 42,
right?
I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go, you know, 12, 13, and 14, and it kind of even works out kind of crazy because it's like I did that, not even thinking that my mom's birthday is January 4th, which is 1/4, and it's just like. That's just the way thing. I wasn't thinking about that at the time. I just was like, you know, 12, 13, 14. I was just like, you know, give me 14. And it was like, all right, cool. But when I got back to the league, I was able to get anywhere I go, that's the number I want, 42. And if they don't got it, that's when I start to brainstorm and be like, okay, what other numbers is it? And but yeah, 42 is my number. I wish I could have got 42 at Michigan State, but I don't think Pete ever said he was gonna change. I never really asked Pete like, "Hey Pete, are you gonna change?" They probably people like, "Heck no, man." You know, but these coaches, man, like when I talk, you know, some of these guys, you know, they're getting recruited. I'm like, look, these coaches are gonna tell you everything that you want to hear. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you want that? Okay, yeah, we get that for you. Yeah, you want that? We do that. Yeah. But at the same time, they gonna tell you whatever you. As soon as you sign that letter of intent, you go there, man, all that stuff is thrown out the window, man. Yeah, they got you now.
Oh, yeah, it's over. Oh man,
I would never forget that. Even when I see the coaches now to this day, like, man, you told me I was gonna get 42. Pete, mine. Man, Pete ain't changed his mind.
Pete don't even know about it. I forgot Pete. Yeah, I forgot Pete wore 42. That's right, because then he switched to 24 in the league. So.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
He could have switched at Michigan State, but I guess he didn't want to. In the league, when you get somewhere, if you want a number, if depending on who the player is, I think, you know, a lot of guys pay for them numbers nowadays. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if I was a superstar or when I wanted 42 and another guy had 42, it was like, yo, you gotta, how much you want for that number? You know, that's just how it works in that league. It's a business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now that guy could be like, you know what, give me 20,000, give me 50,000, give me 100, depending on whatever you make or whatever they offer is. You know what I'm saying? Because you see somebody like Carmelo and then some of these guys when they go to teams and they want a number, and if a guy got that number, you know, sometimes a team may make that guy give up a number or whatever. Most of the time, out of respect to the guy who got that number, you know, superstar or whoever it is,
Right.
you know, they'll take care of the player that was wearing that number, you know, to make it a little easier for him.
Nice. Oh, that was an interesting story. So, hey, again, I appreciate you coming on here, man. As we talked at the beginning, just a reminder for anybody, I will be out in the streets of Atlanta on the curb. So if anybody want it, you know, on these lanes, I will be out there. You know, I talked to Stacey T as well, because I told her, I told her like, yo, I'm still nice with it. So I may have to get her.
I heard that was 96 though, bro. They said you ain't been nice since 96.
96?
No, street, bro. That's the
Okay.
word on the street. Man.
You know what? Then I'm gonna have to go ahead, get a camera crew, put out my demo, or you know, put my hype trailer out to let everybody know, and then
I'm gonna be looking for it.
I'll be there.
Hey, so you add me in that video. Add me. Like I don't even know my Instagram. Whatever it is, at Charlie Bell 14, whatever it is.
I'm definitely gonna put you in there, sure. And then turkey. It's gonna be like Street Fighter. Turkey.
Right, look, we ain't talking about Thanksgiving, man. I know you.
Oh, dang. You know.
You ain't getting three strikes in a row, bro. Like not like that.
Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna show it. I'm gonna show it instead.
There you go.
So
there you go.
Put it out there.
Yeah, come on.
All right. So, hey man, appreciate it again, man. Thank you for coming on to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Charlie Bell, NBA vet, NCAA champion. So there you have it. That was Charlie Bell, man. Appreciate him for stopping in. We're going to take a break, and then when we come back from the break, we're going to talk about the NFC South. I got two more people to do this NFC division talk. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
Do you want your next Atlanta event to be memorable? If so, have Drinking Color at your next function. Drinking Color is sophisticated bartending that creates signature cocktails for your special occasion. Wow your family, friends, and business associates next time with Drinking Color. You can contact the owner, Kiki Lewis, at 678-813-7102. That's 678-813-7102. You can also email her at drinkandcolor@gmail.com and follow on Instagram at drinkandcolor. And tell her you were referred by the Wait a Minute Show. Drinking Color, cocktail catering. Let the cocktail sparkle at your next event. Do you like making an impression? Who doesn't? Well, when you want to dress to impress for less, check out Rail Scott at Prime Ties to Go on Facebook and Instagram. Quality accessories for men and women at low prices. Everything from ties, bow ties, watches, bracelet, earrings to pocketbooks. Don't miss out. Check out Rail Scott, the owner, at Prime Ties to Go. That's Prime Ties, the number 2, Go, on Facebook and Instagram.
He's the brain of operations.
I'm telling you right now, book it!
And him, he's along for the ride. But together, they bring you sports like you've never heard before. The Wait a Minute Show, a new way of discussing today's trending sports topics. And now, back to the show with your host, Jolani J.B. Bodie.
Indeed, Lopan. Indeed as well. So you heard from Charlie Bell. Now let's get into NFC South talk. We've been talking about all the divisions so far. We're going to keep covering all of them before week one kickoff. So I got my man Colin Reynolds and Jasson Kanno to talk about Saints, Bucks, Panthers, Falcons. Check this out. Ladies and gentlemen, what is up? What is up? What is up? It is your man, Jelani JB Bodie, and we are continuing this NFL division talk. I told you I'm going to cover all the divisions in the NFL before week one kicks off. And this one, we got NFC South talk. And I got two people here with me. I got my man, Kailumnn Reynolds, and my man, Jasson Kanno, here to talk about the NFC South. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me. Appreciate y'all spending some time with me today. So we're going to go ahead, get into this thing, man. We ain't going to waste no time. And I'm not going to say anything about the Falcons, so you ain't got to worry about me. But I am going to start with the Falcons, and let's go ahead and get into QB talk, right? So we know Marcus Mariota is the quarterback. They made this kid in the third round, Desmond Ridder, a draft pick, bringing him to the ATL. So Mariota is the starter right now. Does Desmond Ridder finish the season as the starter? And Mariota is watching on the bench. I'll start with you first, Kailumnn. You let me know.
It's gonna be a big difference without Matty Ice. Big difference. Not a big Mariota guy. I don't care where he plays, but I think it's gonna be a culture shift in Atlanta. So I just can't really put my hands on it. Why you give up Matty Ice and then you kind of take 20 steps backwards? But I guess that's called a rebuilding. That's pretty much all I can say on that man.
Jasson, Ridder or Mariota finish out the season as the starter? They paid him for 2 years. I mean, 2 years don't mean anything, but they did sign him for 2 years.
I mean, he's going to start, or Ridder is going to start at some point by default. Marcus Mariota has never played a full season in his NFL career. He hasn't played more than 7 games since 2019. So he's been and the last 2 years, he's finished on injured reserve. There's a pretty strong history here of him just not being able to finish the season healthy. So it almost doesn't matter what the Falcons might have in mind for Marcus Mariota. Desmond Ridder is going to start because Mariota is just going to be hurt at some point. It's just going to happen.
Dang, I forgot about that. That dude do get hurt. Thanks for reminding me of that. But hey, it is what it is. So Falcon fans, get ready for Ridder. It's gonna be Ridder time at some point during the season. So we're gonna move up. Yeah, we're gonna move up to the Carolina Panthers. Also, there's a QB situation going on there. We got Baker Mayfield. We got Sam Darnold. And now let's even throw Matt Corral into that thing because people seem to think that maybe he even got a shot at how this thing plays out. But coming week one, we know it is an open QB competition. Coming week one, who will be under center for the Carolina Panthers? Jasson, I'll start with you this time.
I'd have to say it's gonna be Baker. I don't see why they would trade for him if they didn't intend for him to start. They call it a competition, but they had a full year of Sam Darnold last year, and that got them nowhere. I can't see Matt Corral even being in that equation, seeing that he's coming from a system where he was asked to make one read in any given situation. So Baker, while he's not, a top 10 or even a top 15 quarterback necessarily, he's a drastic step up from Sam Darnold. You just look at some of the numbers over their careers. Baker has thrown 96 touchdowns to Darnold's 54, while their interception count is more or less the same. Not exactly, but it's in the 50. They're both in the 50s. If you look at some of their some of the advanced statistics from Pro Football Focus, Baker has 123 big-time throws to Sam Darnold's 60 over their careers. And if you look at their yards per attempt, Sam Darnold has, I think, 6.8, or I'm sorry, 6 yards per attempt to Baker's 7.3. He just pushes down the ball down the field more than ever did.
Hey, those are some good information, Kyle. Yeah, he might be on the fence. So, Column, Baker, Matt, Sam, who does it?
Well,
Week 1.
I can concur with Jason. It's gonna be a Baker show in Carolina. But they say numbers never lie, and the thing about it is, the numbers go on the field and also in the stands. They want to have some excitement. They want to put the people, give some people something to hope on, hoping in the field. Feel securing. I mean, even think about it. They went back and got Cam. They wanted Cam to do something.
Yeah.
They want. Christian last year was kind of So this year I think they went, like you said, they went got Baker, and also believe it, don't believe it or not though, Baker will have a short leash. They're not sold on Darnold, but they know what to expect in Darnold. So if Baker does bad, they're just going might well do bad with Darnold as well. Give him a chance too. If you want to stank it up, let the whole team stank it up. But then also too, y'all remember, this team is going to drive through McCaffrey, so he's not going to be asked to throw as much. With a healthy McCaffrey, he will not have to throw as much. So, I believe Baker will start the season, but does he finish the season? Same with the Atlanta question. Do he finish the season? Because if they start playing bad, you got to pull a string eventually.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey might actually throw the ball too. So you're right. He's going to do a lot while he's there. So we talked about the two teams that you could care less about. Oh, I didn't mention, I think some of you have already noticed we got a Saints and a Bucks fan in here. But now we're going to get into the two teams that you do care about. So I'm going to start, Colin, with you and your New Orleans Saints. Normally we would know, with Drew Brees and everything, you kind of knew what the identity of this team was. Now he's gone, he's over a year gone, removed. There's no more Drew, but you got question marks with Alvin Kamara. You got question marks with Jameis Winston. You got question marks with Michael Thomas. What is going to be the identity of the New Orleans Saints coming this year, where they're going to say, this is what we are, and you're going to have to stop it?
All right. If you know me, Jelani, I'm a Saints fan. I'm a diehard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm a realist. And it's going to be a tough transition. Sean Payton, one of the greatest coaches of all time. Drew Brees, one of the greatest arms of all time. His second year without him. James coming back with the unknown. But the identity this year will be a resurgence of defense this year. This will be the first year. Listen, not like I said, numbers don't lie. We have had a decent defense the last few years, but the offense have not got the job done. This year we can rely even heavier on the defense because of the security on the back end. First, Kamara, you said that, James come off the injury. He looks good in practice, but till he gets his tail knocked off, we don't know what he's gonna do. Thomas coming back, Chris Olave. We got some, and then we got Godson. We got him on Jarvis. So the thing about it is, we have hands in the receiver core this year. That's something we didn't have last year. But the defense, think about it. You got C.J. Garner-Johnson. You got Adebo. You got Honey Badge on the back.
Ugh.
And then got one of the greatest cornerback in the league now, in Lattimore. Yes. Oh, yes. He's number one in the league. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. All right.
I'm going to stay the course.
Don't make this. Just ask your man in Tampa about it, but we're gonna leave that alone. But
okay,
listen,
I'm sorry.
The thing about it is with that security in the back, and not including the rookies that we come in that's gonna just spell them, that we feel that is gonna be decent. Not you're a rookie, you're not gonna be play great minutes, great snaps, but with those security blankets, you have 4 guys that can play man, end zone. So now you have an aging Cam. You have a Davenport that's trying to prove himself. You have Anamata that's trying to, he's trying to stake up the middle. So you cannot overly worry about pressing and then getting burnt on the back end. You have the Mario Davis. You have a Pete Warner. that's coming back actually call plays when DeMario's, doing other things. So I'm leaning on my defense this year, man, and the resurgence of the defense, the toughness, and with the crew that we have, man. Think about the year. I won't say the ball of the year, but think about that between '06 and '09. Defense was how we was winning games. Drew, yeah, he put up big numbers, but that was because the defense was putting pressure on people. The defense, opposing defenses were staying on the field, so that's how we was getting those numbers. That's how we was getting those yards. The defense were tired, and I believe that that's going to happen again this year.
Yeah, and I give it to you on that because defense will win you some games. And I'm surprised you, and maybe I missed it, but you didn't mention Cameron Jordan.
Yeah,
He's a beast.
Just a little bit with Preston.
Oh, okay.
I mentioned with Preston. I didn't want to go into the fact of his sack numbers. They got some. There are a couple things I'm watching on Twitter, but dude was talking about it's gonna be Cam's best year in his league.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go there. Like I said, I'm a realist, but I think they can focus on more getting downhill, trying to close up the outside and get to the quarterback instead of having to worry about in the flats a little more at his age now. Because the linebackers can do that. I think there's going to be more blitzing than ever from New Orleans. I think last year, like 22%, something like that. I think there's going to be much, much more. And the box is going to be loaded because you have that safety net up top. And don't forget Marcus Lee. I forgot to mention him.
Yeah.
You got Marcus Lee as well. I mean, we solid in the back.
I'll give you that. Jason, what's your thoughts? Defense, or you think it's another aspect of the identity?
I agree that be far more defensive driven. Yeah, they're going to be far more defensive driven than they had been in the past. It's just when you go from Sean Payton to Dennis Allen, who was the defensive coordinator last year, that's just simply where the culture is, and that's honestly where their strength is. The defense is, it's been good for so long, and it should continue to be good this year. There are some weaknesses, and I think the loss of Marcus Williams is going to be felt. For this offseason. Marcus May and the additions of Marcus May and Honey Badger, they're good, but the problem is those are two very similar players, and neither one of them has Marcus Williams' deep field skill set. So I think there may be some growing pains there, but the fact that you have one of the best cornerback rooms in the NFL should keep that from being a major problem. I think the real problems you're probably going to have are on offense, with the fact that you lose your left tackle and you replace him with a rookie who's coming out of the FCS and like starting fights in training camp. He probably won't continue to do that. But I think the bigger concern is that he's really green. He's not seen NFL quality competition before, and that's not something you want in your left tackle.
Right.
The interior's been up and down, but you still have Ryan Ramczyk, who's one of the best right tackles. With Jameis, you never know what you're going to get. He looked good early last year, but when it really gets down to crunch time and he wants to make a play, it could go either way. I'm just speaking from experience. Yeah. And 30 interceptions in 2019. So.
All while trying to win. So you mentioned 2019 and you mentioned Jameis, all stuff that in relation to the Bucs. So the Bucs stops here. That's exactly where we're at. You're Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll start with you, Jason. Now, Antonio Brown, not there anymore. Obviously, he's somewhere with his shirt off, somewhere else. But they got some guys. Yeah, he performing out there, Kailumnn. He doing I can't do the dance, but Russell Gage and now Julio Jones has landed in Tampa Bay. Can the duo, or can they collectively replace the impact that Antonio Brown brought to this team? Now I know Gronk's not there, because that plays a part too, but as far as like at the wide receiver position, collectively, can they kind of fill in that spot where AB now has voided?
I think together, even Russell Gage, alone before they signed Julio, the signing of Russell Gage was going to give them maybe not the exact same impact that AB could potentially have, but the problem with AB is, one, he was never fully healthy at any point playing for the Buccaneers. So you were never getting a full-time player anyways. With Russell Gage, he's relatively young. He's only entering his 4th year in the NFL. So he's going to give the Bucs something much more reliable, especially with Chris Godwin coming off that ACL injury. With Julio, you're going to have not necessarily the same kind of would bring. Obviously, early in his career, have definitely done that, but he's obviously not shown that same degree of explosiveness in the past 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I think together, you looking at their production over the last few years, you're going to get something similar. For example, AB over his 2 seasons with the Bucs had 516 snaps. Julio played 593 with the Falcons and the Titans over the past 2 years. Gage had 958 with Atlanta. When you look at their yardage, I mean, all 3 of them over the past 2 years have accumulated at least 1,000 yards. AB obviously has gone to the end zone a lot more. He scored 10 touchdowns for the Bucs, including playoffs. Whereas Julio, obviously that inability to find the end zone, or that bad luck with in the red zone continues to follow him around, and may continue to follow him around in Tampa Bay, but we'll see. But Russell Gage scored 4 touchdowns in each of the last 2 years. I think one of the most important numbers to keep in mind here with the 3 of them is yard per route run. So how many yards are they getting every time they start running down the field? And honestly, it's somewhat comparable. Though I think AB is probably overall a little bit better. In 2019, he averaged 1.92 yards per route run, and then 2.79 last year. Julio, that's numbers trending downwards, averaging 2.6 in 2019, the 1.84 and with the Titans last year. And then Gage, him being a slot receiver, really primarily with Atlanta, he's just not averaging the kind of depth of target or the kind of numbers that you're going to get as an outside receiver, as the kind of chess piece that you're going to get from like Chris Godwin, for example. But he still averaged 1.96 yards per route run in 2021. So it's not as if that he can't be productive. I think you put these 2 together, even Gage by himself, he's going to give something that the Bucs need pretty desperately, is a very reliable wide receiver 3.
Kailumn, it's on you, buddy. Bucs, Julio, all of them.
Man, hey, bro, great research, man. I give credit where credit due, man. Great research, man. But listen, I think the impact. I'm gonna stick to the question. The impact, it will be replaced, especially with the combination of both of them. Gage is young, energetic. He's healthy. He's proven healthy. I haven't really been a fan of him, because I'm a Saints fan. But I had him on a Madden team last year. After I did some creative player type thing, I had him. But anyway, he's proved himself healthy year after year, and that's the main thing. You got to be on the field to be productive. But Julio, I got something to say about Julio. Yes, I'm a Saints fan, but I have something to say about Julio. Julio is a great player. He's only been on the downward slope because of the cohesiveness in Tennessee last year, and Matty Ice and his injuries the year prior. So this year is almost like a year of proving itself in a resurgence. And with the GOAT, I can say that, yes, because I am a realist. With the GOAT, he said he want to play till he's 45. Happy birthday, GOAT. He's 45 today. and he wants to prove everyone that, okay, I said I'm going to play to 45. I didn't come back for nothing. And, I mean, Gronk, all that good stuff. Julio is not going to go down the field. You don't need it anymore. You have Mike Evans. You don't need it anymore. Yeah. And even when Godwin does come back, he come back 80%, 75%, 2 players are better than 1. And I think that with the masterminds, Arians, GOAT, I mean, and they called out playoff Lenny. He's from the Bayou. We don't like anybody calling us out like that about our weight. So hey, I'm like, this impact, and I'm bringing up these other players, Jelani, because this impact will not have to be just on these 2 players. Yeah. I mean, those 5 and cross, those drag routes. I mean, your wide receivers have to, pick up the slack, but also You know Tom Brady. Tom Brady been in the league for decades now. Tom Brady dumps the ball off to anybody that can see a foot of daylight, an inch of daylight. So, I mean, it's gonna be by committee, the impact. But the touchdowns that touchdowns Julio, Evans in the red zone is dangerous. So hey man, y'all will pick up the pieces and hey. Maybe Jason, maybe when they get the first end zone touchdown, the red zone touchdown, you take off your shirt like AB and throw it in the crowd.
Yeah. So the crazy.
Start doing jumping jacks.
Right. And you know Russell Gage. I'll say this. Russell Gage is going into a position as well as guys who's come before him playing with Tom Brady. You know that. You know. Nobody had really heard of Danny Amendola or Julian Edelman or Wes Welker to a certain degree, and working with Tom, if Russell does what he needs to do and Tom sees it, like you say, he's gonna drop it off and he's gonna have a good year. So all valid points. So I'm gonna get you out of here on this one, all right? And I appreciate y'all for chilling with me. So I know a Super Bowl is the ultimate goal, the ultimate want. So we're going to take that out and throw it away, right?
Okay.
If that doesn't happen, what is one thing that you need to happen this year for your team to say, you know what, I'm good. I can deal with that. The season wasn't that bad. Kailumnn, I'll start with you to end it here.
Because of injuries, man, and the new regime. I mean, DA been here with us for a few years, but he still has to put his respect. He had to get his respect, which I think he has, but also put his stamp on the team. And record wise, I mean, 10 wins would be great for us this year, honestly, because of the unknowns. I mean, 10 wins would be great. I mean, but at the same time, if everything works as planned on paper, we can win a division, and that can be 10, 11, 12 games.
Right.
I mean, it's gonna have some growing pains, but for me as a fan and a football fan and Saints fan, I think that if we just have we have continuance. And I mean continuance mean that from week to week to learn from mistakes and to have cohesiveness to grow, the sky's the limit.
Jasson, what do you want from T. Well, you know what, T. Brady. He goes to the championship game seems like every other year. Well, it's probably factual because he's been to 14 conference championship games in 22 years. So what are you expecting from the Tampa Bay Bucks if they don't win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it's hard to say that the Super Bowl is not the expectation here because the team's built specifically to go win a Super Bowl.
Right.
I mean, they brought as much of the team back from that 2020 season, 2020 Super Bowl run as they could. So and Brady's not getting any younger, so I can't imagine that they're doing this for any reason than they believe that they're going to win a Super Bowl. But if we're going to exclude that entirely, like 100%, I think the one thing that they have to do is beat the Saints in the regular season.
Ooh.
It's just once.
Just once.
They got to do it just once.
Yeah, because
if I had to pick one thing, it would have to be that.
Yeah, because the Saints do give the Bucks some trouble. Yeah.
Tom does not like the Saints defense in the regular season for some reason.
Yeah.
We have their number, but listen, Jelani, listen, Jason, listen. The thing about this rivalry, I guess you want to call it, I think what happens is they so focused on the Saints and the Falcons to not forget about dating back to Mike Allstott when he used to be running over our line. We've been having rivalry with the Bucks for years, man. People overlook it because of it's just the Dirty Birds and the Saints, but I get more amped. I mean, not because of the fact that Tom Brady, not because we've been beating. I get more amped for the Bucks challenge every year because it's always somebody catching a 30, 40-yard Hail Mary and like, what the hell has happened? Now it shifted the dynamic of the game, and now we playing from 17 to 10 down. But the last few years, the script has been changed. So I ride the wave whenever we're going good. I'm on the surfboard, man.
Cool. Well, man, I appreciate y'all chilling here, giving us some jewels. Ladies and gentlemen, these two gentlemen, as you see, have a lot of football knowledge, and that's because they cover the sport themselves. So, Kailumnn, go ahead, plug yourself before we get out of here, where they can reach you and how they can reach you.
reach me on all social media platforms. Kailumnn, Fat Mac Reynolds, FATMAC_K. That's faith and trials make a Christian. With helping hands, loving hearts make the world a better place.
And Jasson, I know you got something.
Yeah, so I'm running my own site right now, bucksdistrict.com. You can also catch me on Twitter at bucksdistrict. That's pretty much the easiest way to find me, and whatever I've got to say about the Bucks, the NFL, or anything like that.
Awesome. Well, again, fellas, appreciate you for stopping by. We got the NFC South covered. You already heard everything. We're going to do some other divisions here before the season starts. So again, fellas, thank you for joining in. Y'all have a good day, and we'll talk with you later. We'll get. So you saw sorry I ended it a little bit early, but that was my man Reynolds and Jasson Kanno talking about the NFC South, ladies and gentlemen. So look, we got some other divisions that we're going to cover in the future. Next week's show, week after that, and all that stuff. So we'll cover all of what's been going on in the NFL. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and get you up out of here, man. I thought about it and I said, I'm not gonna do it, but I am gonna do it. So first thing I am gonna do, I'm gonna mention, hey, my daughter got a YouTube channel. It's called Being the Bodies. Just go on there, YouTube. Just search for AYLA Bodie. AYLABODDIE, man. She got a real funny video out there now of her back to school shopping, and if us as her parents survived her back to school shopping. So check that out. But ladies and gentlemen, it is Mocha Bella's favorite part of the show. It is time to hand out a Big L award.
And you are one pathetic loser.
Let's go.
We're gonna see the best collection of losers this park's seen for many a year.
You made me feel like a loser! Loser!
La loser.
Le who? The her.
So I'm gonna get right to it, man. Big L award, the Big Loser award, we hand it out to someone who does loserous things at times. And yesterday, so I've been really talking about on Esquire Radio Network, but here also I've been talking about the Wait a Minute Show Fantasy Football League, right? So I'm expanding this thing. Now we got 2 leagues that's going on. Hopefully one day, this thing can be even bigger, and I just have a whole bunch of leagues going on for fantasy football. So because I expanded it out to another league, we have this thing, where we do it like NBA style, but we take ping pongs, put them in to a roller and everything, and that's how we decide the draft order, right? And then I broadcast it live, whoop, 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 and everybody gets to see it. Something different, right? So to do that, I need ping pong balls. So since I'm putting together a new league, I got to go get some more ping pong balls. So I go and I look up and I go on Walmart's website, right? And they say, hey, it's in stock, the ping pong balls. It's on aisle, whatever. Great. I'm going to go in here, get the ping pong balls. Boom, get in, get out. I'm done, right? No. I get there. I'm looking. I'm like, okay, the ping pong ball supposed to be right here, but I don't see it. Okay, there's, a set of like 50,000. No, I don't need those. So then I asked one of the associates there, and I said, hey, this says you got this in stock, and I can't find it. Maybe I'm overlooking it. I do wear glasses, so I'm like, maybe I'm overlooking it. The lady looks, and she's like, yeah, they supposed to be right here. I don't know what's going on. And she said, you know what probably happened? And I knew where she was going because I've experienced this before. She was like, we probably did have some, and people, they'll steal them or something like that, and it didn't update, and it shows that it's still in stock. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't stand that because I've experienced that before. I know you've went in there and you saw something and it said one left in stock. One left in stock. And you already know, like, that thing is probably not there. But you take a chance, you go, and then, sure enough, our computers didn't update, or somebody took it, and, we don't know, but we haven't had that, and all that stuff. So I say all of that is to the Big L Award recipient that's going to get it today. Today is going to be all the people who just mess up the inventory system tracker. whatever it is that you're doing. The people that's stealing stuff, the people that's not hitting the button to update it, whatever it is, so that somebody like me comes in and I'm trying to get something and then only to find out that it is not there. It is out of stock. Come on, man. We got to do better. So obviously, lesson learned. If you got one, chances are you probably want to call or, just say, it's probably not there. Look for something with 2, 3, 4, that they're saying that's in stock. But if they don't have that, you still run into the problem. Sometimes they just say it's in stock and then you find out that it's not there. So to the little grimy little 5-finger discount people that be out there taking stuff, messing it up for the rest of us. So when we're trying to buy something, yeah, Lopan, y'all got to take this big L.
See? Another loser.
Indeed. As well, Lopan. Oh, man. That really gets my goat. Really gets my goat because I got a plan. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get in. I'm going to get out. I'm going to move on with my life. And then I got to adjust stuff. I got to change up stuff. I got to do stuff different, man. Stop taking stuff, folks. Jeez. Hit the update button, something. Maybe even if you're going to take it, when you're out there at the door, say, bye, I got it, and then just run. So at least we know to update it. I mean, you probably still going to get caught, but whatever. I'm going to move on, man. Hey, great show, great folks. Man, I want to thank my guest that was on with me, my man Kailumnn Reynolds, my man Jasson Kanno, and of course, NBA vet Charlie Bell. Stopping in, man, giving us some jewels, giving us some entertainment, giving us some sports to talk about. So I'm going to get out of here, man. I'll see y'all next time, man. Next week, we'll have some more discussions. I'll get some more interviews for you out there, man, and we'll do it all over again. Make sure you like and subscribe and turn on the notifications for the YouTube channel, man. So for your man, Jelani JB Bodie, host of this thing called The Wait a Minute Show, I'm going to get out of here, man. 2 things as always. Stay positive and push forward. And I'll holler at y'all later. Lopan, let's go.